Hey everybody, welcome back to Sims History. Today I am going to introduce you to the various peasants that I'm installing in our 17th century French village. As you can see, I've played them for quite a while already. I kind of figured that nobody would be interested in watching me get 8 Sims up to level 2 or 3 of the gardening skill. It took hours and hours. Even the cut version I've given you here, I had to do a lot of cutting to get it down to 15 minutes. So I thought I would begin by introducing our first family, and that would be the Cordelet family. And Jacques is right here. Where is he? There he is. He's having kind of a rough morning, as he's been having ever since the game started. As you can see, he smells kind of bad, and he is surrounded by squalor because the Sims haven't been cleaning up very much after themselves. And of course, it's hard to make your 17th century French cabin a whole lot suckier than it is to begin with, so I kind of understand their feelings. And also, they're working pretty hard to support themselves. So anyway, this is Jacques Cordelet, and you can see that he is an active, ambitious art lover with a high metabolism. He also seems to be kind of a loner. He likes to spend a lot of his time by himself, even though he's not got that trait, which has been a problem for his wife, Maragil, because you notice that she is tense too. Let's get in close to her. Come on, Maragil, where are you? Not over there. Let's pull out. Oh, she's taking a shower. Okay, so Maragil is, as you can see here, a little bit lazy. Oh, that's Didier. Come on. I didn't think that was Maragil. Where are you? There you are. Okay, that's good. So Maragil is family-oriented, and it turns out, I didn't realize this, that family-oriented Sims get really bummed out if they don't have direct one-to-one interaction with family members. They can't just be in the same room. And so even though she and Jacques are always on the same lot, because they never get to leave the village, if they don't actually work together during the day or get together during the evening, she feels really bummed out. And it turns out that Jacques is usually, at the end of the day, what he wants to do is get away from everybody else and play horseshoes alone. Thank you very much. So that's been kind of a challenge for the two of them. Nevertheless, they are getting along pretty well. You can see that their marriage is doing pretty decently on both of their sides. She really is fond of him, and he is really quite fond of her, which is good and kind of surprising because I generated their traits at random. I did it on my own at random at first, and then for this family, and then for the rest of them, actually, I found a site that will randomize Sims for you, and I will put the link to that site in the comments so that you can find it if you like. Our second family to come in were the Pourlat families, Demang and his wife Didier. And by the way, I got all of these names from scholars of 17th century France and 16th century France. They're all the names of actual French peasants, or actual French people. Not all of them are peasants. I've mixed first names and last names so that I'm not using the real name, I think, of any individual person, but all of the first names and all of the family names come from actual 17th century French people. So anyway, here's Demang, and you can see he's getting along pretty well with his randomly chosen wife, Didier. Demang himself, sorry, he doesn't have anything in his inventory right now, is materialistic. He's also a loner. He's neat, and he's a collector, and yet he does not seem to really have that much. I haven't given him any opportunity to collect, and that may be why he's so tense. That and the fact that he was burned by the campfire quite recently. We've had a good 6 fires since I started the game, and this one is actually new. I'm not quite sure when he got himself burned. You'll notice that Demang and his wife Didier, who is now asleep. Didier is lazy, and frankly, she does spend an awful lot of time sleeping. It's quite hard to get her to work. She's childish, she's a bro, and she is a muser. And of course, she has virtually no outlet at all for her creativity here in The Sims. Although I think she did successfully make a tiny sculpture with the sculpture set that we're using as the substitute for the blacksmith's events. So far, though, nobody has autonomously gone over and made things on the hobby bench. That seems to be something that they have to be told to do. We'll see if that changes. Anyway, Didier also seems to be getting along with her husband, Demang, even though, again, they were picked randomly for each other. I hit random traits. I skip through 5 or 6 random sim types on the Create a Sim player, and then they're stuck with whoever they're stuck with. You notice that she's in greenish clothes and Demang is in greenish clothes. They're all dressed pretty much the same, because that's what would have been the case with actual 17th century French peasants. They've got to have fairly limited outfit choices. In fact, whether that they are working in the field or going to a wedding, they're going to be pretty similarly dressed. I think the women have skirts for party and for formal wear, and the men have a different hat for formal wear. They've got feathers with their hats. So each couple I've distinguished so I can spot them. I've distinguished by making them, in the case of the Courtelets, gray, and in the case of the Porlots, in green, and so on and so forth for each of the couples. Over here, somewhere, asleep, is Jean de Coras. And Jean de Coras, that is the actual real name of a real French person. It's the judge for a really famous French case, which Natalie Zemon Davis wrote about in her book, The Return of Martin Guerre, and was actually made into a movie, a pretty good movie, starring Gerard Depardieu. And I thought I would give him, that actual judge, a little plug. Jean has randomly chosen traits as well, and so he is hot-headed, ambitious, a bro, and I'm afraid that he is dastardly. Although he hasn't actually had many opportunities to display this dastardliness so far, although he's only been on the lot for a little while. They were, after all, the third couple chosen, so he's been played for, 4 or 5 days worth of game time. And his, again, randomly chosen wife, Bertrande, is actually the happiest of the group, although right now she looks pretty miserable, because Bertrande loves the outdoors and is gregarious. And so she kind of gets along with everybody, and she likes being out in the garden. And most of them, frankly, do not like being the farmers that they are. Most of them kind of go out there and grind their teeth the whole time that they're doing it. But, of course, there's not a whole lot of other ways for French peasants to make a living. So they're kind of stuck with that. And as you can see, the Coras family, they are the reddish family. Oh my goodness, it's really time for somebody to fix that, isn't it? I think that I have been having... let's let Jean do it. He's probably not doing anything important right now. And we're with Bertrande. Let's go see what Rose is doing. Rose. Rose is a bit of a snob. She hates children. She's creative. She's a quick learner. It's too bad for these 17th century peasant women that they have come up with the random trait of hates children, because, what can I say? They're not going to have very many opportunities to not have children. The fact that we don't have any on the lot right now is mostly a matter of the problem of getting them all trained up. Eventually I'll have to move a couple of Sims out so that they can actually have children, because the maximum number that I can have on any one lot is 8. You see that Rose is really very sad, and I don't think her social is going up very much, even from playing chess here. Not quite sure why that is. Let's give her a little bit of an opportunity to ask for advice and complain about problems. And that's because I feel so bad for her. There's really so little scope for these kids to have any outlet. And her husband, Jean Grivel... Oh, I'm sorry, they're not actually married yet. I forgot to make this particular couple married. So, although they ought to have been, you can see that they're only just starting to get friendly and to get a little bit romantic. And I didn't actually have to do very much to make them friendly and romantic. Apparently being isolated with 3 other couples brings out the romantic in them. Now he, of course, is family oriented, which is going to be a problem when it turns out that she doesn't want to have kids. And there's not any other women there for him, so it's going to have to be her for him. So this is our group of highly diverse and randomly chosen Sims. I've got them all married to each other. I've got them all dressed in plain clothing so that they can look more Sim-like. So that they can look more peasant-like. And as you'll see from the video that I made of training them, and that's going to be the next thing that I upload, these are pretty unhappy group of people. I don't know if I can help make them happy, but that's going to be a challenge. One doesn't want to think of one's entire village of hapless Sims being miserable. Well, okay, I won't say that I've never tortured a household full of Sims, but the point here is not to make my 17th century Sims miserable. In fact, it would be kind of nice if I could find a way to make them happy, to see if it's possible for them to be happy in this situation. I, of course, have not taken away the last thing that they're probably using to stay happy, which is their phones. There is a mod at Mod the Sims that will prevent them from autonomously using the phone. Right now they don't know anybody, so they can't call anybody on it, but I haven't prevented them yet from playing their video games, and that is going to happen in video probably number 4. I only found the mod recently. Well, it only occurred to me that I needed the mod, let's be honest, after I'd trained in all the Sims, and so I'll do that for the second set of activities. And so that's it for the introduction of the peasant village. As you can see, all of these people have been working pretty hard. They've planted a lot of trees and a lot of crops, and they have set themselves on fire half a dozen times. And they have actually generated an awful lot of cash. As you can see, they're at 2,875 simoleons, which I took all of their money when they came in on the lot. I bought expensive statues and put them in their inventory so that they can't actually have any benefit from their value of them. So they all came in with about 200 simoleons each after they joined the household. And they've brought their money all the way up to close to 3,000, except that they've got bills to pay, and they owe very nearly 4,000.